fuck you doing?
Remember that name? Good Pizza with 3 Z's, baby. 3 Z's.
What's up, guys? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. Yo, check this out. This week we got a very special guest coming through. The homie Shea from the network show came through to tell his story, man. This is SoCal legend, bro. He's been doing his thing for many moons, moving and grooving through the state. Him and his partner Nam and Mikey started the network show, arguably one of the best cannabis networking events out there, connecting buyers to brands, real business, real plays, real money being made. Wait till you guys see this episode, man. They're doing great things for the community. We'll see y'all soon, man. Peace, love, good pizza. So I heard you like fucking fishing, my guy.
Man, yeah. Fishing's my life, man.
Ripping some lips out there in the ocean.
Yeah, you must have seen on that Instagram that big catch, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, bluefin fishing's fun, dude.
Let's talk about it.
I always tell my friends, man, like, come on, let's go fish. And a lot of my weed guys, they love fishing, you know? But there's a couple that have never done it before, and it's an experience. Like, how do I best describe it to you is like, a tuna is so strong, it's all muscle, right? That whole fish is all muscle. So when you hook into one, the fight is like an hour straight of just back and forth grind. Literally, like I'll be sweating, I'll be huffing, I'll be puffing. And it's, dude, you can be in great shape and you're still huffing and puffing. Doubt. Funny story, my boy Chuck just got a really nice one on this last trip. And he's in good shape. He's like my young buck, you know? I'm like, yo, you're the young buck, you know? And he's over there huffing and puffing after he got done catching that fish. And I was like, what's up, dog? You the new gen, bro. You got to be in better shape. What's going on here? He's like, bro, that tuna smoked me, you know? And I'm like, yeah, baby. But yeah, tuna fishing's really fun, man. We're very blessed. I live in SoCal to have that fishery in our backyard. So fishing's a life, you know, like to get out there, obviously burn good weed while I'm there and connect with my people. It's nice to be out there for several hours. You're not even on your phone. You're just enjoying Mother Nature. You're ripping the boat. You're out one with nature. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's called the Sweet Spot.
Nice, bro.
Yeah, the Sweet Spot. It's actually, you'll like it. It's from New York.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a Steiger craft. So there's a guy named Alan Steiger. He's from New York, and he crafts about 20, 25 boats a year. Okay. And this is obviously an older model. It's not a new one, but yeah, it's a dope boat.
That sounds dope. Yeah. And from what I understand, do you sell your tuna to the people at the docks for sushi?
So
is that a thing?
Twofold. I have a commercial license, and the commercial license allows me to sell to restaurants or fish markets and stuff like that. But you know, it's a very time consuming thing. So it's not my day-to-day bread and butter. You know, I partnered up with a few friends, and my friends run that, you know, out there, and that's what they do. So yeah, it's kind of it's a fun trade to be a part of. You know what I mean? But a day-to-day operation, and you know, fisherman, it's a hard living, man.
For real.
You're out there, and the water's moving, and you know, you're sleeping on a bunk, you know, you're away from your family. Yeah. So
when I learned about tuna fishing and like selling the fish to a fish market or whoever, it's all about how quickly you can get that tuna landed because it cooks itself.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's how you process it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fight, it's boiling with the blood, right? Yeah. So, you know, not to get too graphic on your show, there's ways to process that fish. There's an aikijimi technique where you obviously want to be as humane as possible, so you spike the tuna in the head, which puts it out of its misery. So there's a lot of times when you see that fish slapping on the deck, it's still alive. Yeah. So it's hurting, you know? So you want to dismember it, you know, you want to take it out just like any creature. If you're hunting, you want to do the same thing. And then after that, you know, there's a way you process, you pull out all the gills, you pull all the intestines, you pull out everything from inside, because that's honestly what's heating up and that's what's cooking the meat. And so obviously you want to, you know, deblood it, you know, you hit a couple veins on the fish and it pours out the blood. So that helps curate the meat. And then obviously getting it straight on ice and packing it, down packing it is really the technique.
Got it.
So
got it.
You want to process it the correct way.
That's interesting shit, man. Yeah. That was always fascinating to me. Well, I'm gonna have to go out there. You know, I've got my sea legs. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, man.
We're
ready. We're ready.
I'm down, bro.
Smoke some good, huh?
I'm hella down, man. Yeah, man. That's what's up. So, so where are you from, man? Like, what's your story, dude?
So I'm a SoCal kid, born and raised down in San Clemente. So most of my career has been in, you know, Orange County, LA, kind of SoCal, I would say, SoCal region. Yeah. You know, born and raised down there. I'm an action sports kid. You know, I grew up surfing, skating, motocross.
damn.
You know, my background really falls in like marketing. You know, I'm a big guerrilla marketer. I'm the
Okay.
type of guy
Fuck,
that you tell me I can't do it, it's done. I already did it. You know?
Yeah. I love
So,
that.
you know, I've put myself in, you know, early on, like, you know, towards the end of high school and shit, I was working with some really big brands back in the day. One of them being Meta Militia. It was an action sports brand with
I
motocross.
remember Meta Militia. Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
I was like one of the, you know, head guys behind that to kind of like help, you know, steamroll that movement. And, you know, back then, a lot of these projects were movements, you know, they started as like groups and like, you know, Meta Militia was a group of guys that rode. And then that turned into a clothing brand. And then next thing you know, he's got Mattel RC things in Walmart, you know? So it just shows to you that, like, you know, if you think it and believe it, it could come. And, you know, for stuff like that, you know, it was like all clothing. And, you know, early on, you know, we were kind of ahead of the curve. You know, UFC wasn't really going on yet. And then after I saw the motocross industry was kind of slowing down a little, I realized like not every kid could afford a $5,000 bike.
That's a fact.
I saw UFC kind of taking off. So I went into the UFC side of things, worked with a brand called Affliction. And, you know, we were putting t-shirts on Sylvester Stallone, like all the celebs by the ring.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like our guerrilla market strategy. It was like all the media, you know, you got your signage and everything.
Yep.
Well, let's throw that on Sylvester Stallone and have him walk around UFC 50. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
UFC
Right.
40. I mean, this is back when now they're in the 300-400s now, you know?
Yeah. Damn. What did Sly run you? What did that run you to put a shirt on his back?
It really didn't run me much. I was tied in with some guys in Hollywood that knew him really well.
Oh, nice.
And so we gave him a care package and that one stuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Does he burn?
No.
Okay.
No, we just took care of him on the
sure.
clothing side. We were doing some deals with like Nordstrom and like we were doing some big moves at the
Gotcha.
time. So we needed some big time people that would make some movements for us. So had a
Tight,
friend
bro.
that pulled a string and pulled a favor, got him to wear it. We invited him. We kind of used the strategy of like, you know, if we lay it all a la carte for him, we invited him to the Affliction fight we had in Santa Ana, or it was in Anaheim at the pond, and we invited him there, and, you know, gave him the whole red carpet, rolled it out, and, you know,
Nice, bro.
yeah, just some
You know
guerrilla
what
marketing.
you're doing. Yeah, you know what you're doing. I'm seeing your style. I'm peeping your moves. I like it. You know, you're a good networker and a good dot connector. I can already tell.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got a show called The Network Show. I'd imagine you're a good.
Your
networker,
network
but
is
you
your
know
net
what I'm saying?
worth, right?
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. So throughout that was high school and like right after high school. So when did you get into the cannabis world?
Shit,
Like,
cannabis
or has it
was-
always just been a part of your world?
Yeah, I mean, like, cannabis has always been part of my world. I'll be real with you. Like, as a kid, my first words were "pass it to me." My mom's a smoker, right?
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so she be burning, dude. I'll be real, dude. I don't want to drop dime on mom, but
Oh, mine
shit.
too. Mine too.
You know,
My mom
like,
still
hey,
smokes.
man,
Still
there's
grows.
like days where I'm like, Mom, slow down a little, man. You're smoking more than me. But she's that old school smoke. She smokes joints.
Same.
She'd be smoking joints like fucking back to back to back to back, you know?
Still?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to mom.
So yeah, shout out moms. Love you, mom. Thank you for creating me.
Hell yeah.
But
Big
you
up
know, so
mama.
I feel like weed was in my life always, you know. And
Yeah.
I'll be real. The real thing that really catalyst that kind of was like that broke the camel's back of going all in was I had a good friend named Luke the Brave. He was sick back in the day. He had some cancer, and he had I don't want to butcher it, but I think it was EB, where his skin didn't attach to his muscles, so he was always in
God,
bandages.
dude.
So me, Jared from West Coast Cure, Chris from G Pen, handful of us would all come together and put together like cool care packages for him. Back then it would be like shatters and shit. It wasn't even
Yeah.
like rosin back then. We were still like extracting BHO. So
Yeah.
I would make dabs for him, and
Sorry,
I
bro.
would just see the improvement it helped in his life. I would also grow the CBD for him. So I would go to like Swerve from Cali Connection, which is an OG name way back in the day. I haven't seen him for many years, but he back in the day would have like Canatonic or Tsunami or a few of these strains that were CBD heavy.
Okay.
And so back then, I mean, I'm from the 215 era of home grows. Like
Yep.
that's how I got my get off was home grows. I underground home grows, and I would grow CBD for him. And
Right.
then I started realizing, hey, like you're juicing the leaves. Maybe I extract the CBD and we have CBD shatter. And then like I started going down those lines of like, hey man, this could be medicine. This could be like could be bigger than just me smoking and getting high on the couch.
Yeah.
And so that was where my passion like kind of steamed of like, yo, look, I could create a brand. That brand could give the proceeds to help these people that are in these dire needs. And I feel like cannabis aids in so many different people's life, so many different ways. I played baseball in college, and like a lot of my friends would be that whole drinking type. And don't get me wrong, I don't have nothing against drinking, but I ain't never gone out and got high and got in trouble. I've gone out plenty of times drunk and have made some bad decisions. And so like halfway through my life, I started realizing that like, you know what? Like if you're in on this weed thing, like don't let this other shit jeopardize you. Go all in. Like if the weed's going to get you hemmed up, then be all in. Yeah. But like be in it. So it's kind of like how my journey started in cannabis. I was passionate about it,
Dope. Yeah, I like when, it's unfortunate, but like when there's a bit of a tragedy behind the passion, you know what I'm saying? A bit of a, a misfortune, like your friend. You know what I'm saying? That it's like, damn, I'm doing this for the right reason. Like outside of like getting money, I love weed, like I love the culture, but like when it becomes like deeper than that. Like for me, I had that same moment right before I moved out here, bro. Broke my heart. My god baby, Adriana, she was like fucking 4 or 5 years old at the time, man. She had a Helm tumor on her kidney. Oh wow. So she had cancer, so they like wild operations, radiation, just cooked this poor girl, chemo and shit. Bald head, you know what I'm saying? Like I went
so
over
young.
a crib.
How do you talk about RSO with a 5-year-old?
Well, we were giving it to
like
her.
You know what I mean? Like
I was watching. That was my next thing, bro. Yeah. Like, we were getting that shit flown out. However it was getting to us, we were getting her RSO and doing the medicine, and the little 2-punch combo, and it gave her enough appetite so she could fucking eat. Yeah. This poor little fucking angel had an appetite so she eat her food because of RSO. And that was like, damn, bro. And this is me leaving to go to California like that last summer. And I'm like, I felt terrible leaving her, but I felt like, all right, bro, this is your mission, bro. Like this is really helping people. This is a good thing. And baby girl's gonna be all right. She's good. She's good now. Good. You know what I'm saying? She's all good,
blessings, bro. Blessings, blessings.
Man,
yeah. But back to that RSO, man. I believe in it, brother. I believe in
real
plant medicine. And
real medicine.
Sucks to say that, but I got a couple friends that have healed some friends from the cancer, and they really are into the RSO scene. Shout out to Donovan and shout out to Bernie from the Love Foundation. He actually goes and collects like the pucks and everything from these rosin extract artists, and then he makes his solution from that. So then he's able to go donate that to like, hey, you got cancer. The last thing he wants you to think about is how much money these treatments are going to cost, right? Yeah. So he's got a thing set up where he takes care of people with cancer, and I wholeheartedly respect that. That's how I got into this industry. I mean, shout out to Luke the Brave for just inspiring me to be who I am today, and that all comes from the plant. The plant always talks to us. There's a reason why I have an endocannabinoid system in our body. Like this plant was made to be in our life,
Definitely. 100%. 100%. So you start out with the home grows, right? Where did it go from there? Like, did you do any outdoor? Did you come up north and get a farm going? Like, what was your cannabis journey?
Yeah, so I was early 2000s, right? Back in my era, early 2000s, shit was still heavily illegal.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, these home grows weren't easy. I'd have like, 5 different stories at each different house, and had to start remembering. One I was a pool guy. The other guy I was a construction worker. Yep. And mind you, like, I don't know if you guys know home grows. Like back in my day, we used a lot of soil, and a lot of that soil, whenever we ran it, we'd always use new soil. Mm-hmm. And man, I'd be trucking out those black fucking 100-gallon bags, 10 mil, 20 mil, whatever they were, fucking thick ones, so they wouldn't open while I'm dragging it to the car throughout the house. Mm-hmm. And I would load up in the back of the car. Back then we had a little trap van that we'd load all this shit up in. And we would do our little local grocery store run to the trash can dumpster, And I mean, there was so many times where I literally just chucked the last bag, hopped in, put it in drive, and who do you think's buzzing that next corner?
Yep.
Exactly. So doing those days, like it was different back in the home scene. You couldn't talk about shit, bro. You didn't tell nobody what you did. You would meet somebody at the fucking hydro store that was your homie in the game, and you'd be like, yo, I left a cut under your back right tire. It's in a red cup, and it's in a bag, and like, okay, cool. You got that blackberry kush for me? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll give it to you. You got to go around the corner. It's over here in this little spot, and grab it, And so that was like, you would go talk to your friends at the hydro store and be like, hey, what are you growing? What's going on? What's the new tech? What have you been learning? What are you pouring in the newts? Like, shit like that. And we didn't have, I think back in the day, the forums were like skunk, right? Skunk forums. And like, that was pretty much
IC Mag.
Yeah, IC Mag. And like, I didn't really, fuck around on that too much because I was ahead of that. I was before it, and so homegirls got me into just understanding that, like, look, I could use this as this is a real job. It's a real business. There's, eventually we're going to pay taxes. Eventually we're going to go legal. Then I went into the retail side of things and ran a few under, 2 15-day dispensaries in Lake Forest and Santa Ana. And like Santa Ana was kind of the mecca in SoCal for us that kind of went legal first. So SoCal, was a bubble and there was a lot of weed moving through there privately and, traditionally. And when, weed went legal in Santa Ana, that was kind of like the southest Orange County spot that went legal. LA was always running amok,
Yeah, still is.
LA always runs amok, but Orange
Big
County
up.
was kind of like the spotlight, like you have wealthy people, you have successful people, they want to get high too. A lot of these, but that was kind of the first of like, you want to call like the Starbucks store dispensaries, like that was the first of the like, oh shit, like they made this place look like an iPhone store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that was a trip because before it was like the green cross on the fucking wall and like knock twice and go to the second door, you're in 2 trap doors and like, so times have changed a lot since then,
Yeah. What's up, guys? It's your boy JP Good Pizza. Just taking a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Grove Bags. Listen, it's an exclusive proprietary bag, and here's why we love them. Let's talk terpene preservation. This is the best environment for storing your cannabis. It keeps your cannabis at 58 to 62% humidity at all times. It's like your cannabis is living in San Diego year-round with the best weather. Terpene and flavor longevity. That's important. It inhibits microbial growth. No mold, Kujin. Let's talk light protection. UV rays and good pizza don't mix. It also increases shelf life. Guys, if you have your flower in a dispensary, please use Grove Bags. We all know that stuff sits sometimes. This is gonna be your saving grace for flower that sits on that shelf longer than it should. Don't mess around with the pizza. Use promo code GOODPIZZA with TreeZ's. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. We'll see y'all back on the show. Yeah, the lobbies are a little more friendly and welcoming.
Yeah, man. You remember that back in the day?
I do.
Oh, dude.
It was dope. I've said it a million times on the show, but I was lucky enough to come here at the tail end of Prop 215, start a delivery service through that model, and get my stack of scripts and move mean and shit in the last little piece of that gray area. No, bro, me too, bro. I only did it for like 2 years, bro, and that shit was lit. I was like, oh, why the fuck did y'all legalize this shit, man? This is all fucked up now,
I feel like, I'm like a dinosaur, the last of them, like
yeah, I know.
A lot of operators have kind of given up, or a lot of operators have been successful and pivoted and went different directions in industries,
Yeah,
but yeah, this legal space is, I don't know, I guess maybe that jumps us right in a network, because.
Wait, hold on. Before we do, there's something we talked about. Yeah, I was about to go there too, but there's something we talked about at my crib that I want to touch on. You're from SoCal, you're from LA.
Yep.
I like to bring out some of the OG history as you know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you were telling me a little bit, and I was like, whoa, wait, tell me on the show. Tell me on the show. So, what's your history with OG and what you know about the history of OG and where it came from, et cetera, et cetera? Because this guy's got some official OG with him right now.
That's loaded. But not to get too political, like that's been my favorite strain my whole life, right?
Yep.
And I've always loved it. And over the last several years, I've gone in touch with a group of boys, and the guy's named Sherpa. He's from Florida, okay?
Okay.
And Sherpa's he's the man. He is the connector to a lot of things from the 90s and on.
Okay.
And I guess the simplest way to put it is he's kept Triangle OG from 91, and that's the original Sherpa cut, and that's what we call it, the Sherpa cut, because it's him. Mm-hmm. And he is the originator of this OG Kush, and there's a lot of stories out there, right? You've got so many people, I could pull up my phone and go through the different ones, but you got Josh D, who's out in the valley running it. You got the OG Kush story. You got Habibi from Cali Kush Farms. You've got Kenji from Be Real originally, but, he's got his Craft Cartel stuff now. That's his new brand. He's out on his own doing his thing. And a lot of these guys have gotten these cuts. And I feel like, there's a story here, and it's like Star Wars, they told the story, but they started halfway in the middle. They didn't go back to the original, who's Darth Vader and where did OG Kush come from? And I feel like, you know, that's like, it means no disrespect to anybody that's had it along the way and made their own things.
Sure.
But let's really just pay homage to where it came from, the origination of it. And I feel like these stories are out there, and like what I'm going to put together, and I'm glad you brought me on the show to talk about this. I'm going to put together a Godfather dinner of all the players. And I want everybody to come together, sit down at a table, Italiano style. We're going to have all kinds of food. There's going to be all kinds of these trays being rolled up. And I want everybody to tell their story and timeline of when they got the OG. Hey, Josh D, you got it in 96. Who'd you get it from? Matt Bergstrom? Who'd you get it from? Who did you get your... Oh, I got my cut from so-and-so. Okay, well, maybe that cut came from so-and-so before. And, you know, like there's lineage here. And I feel like we're in 2025 now. Like these stories should come out. And, you know, I've talked to Sherpa about it, but you know, where he's from, you know, he's from Florida, and this originated in Florida. And back then, and still to this day, you still go to prison for this kind of stuff down there. So a lot of these guys are kind of on the cusp of like really coming out. And like, I'll be real, bro. Like if you get, you know, if you want to show your viewers, I'll fucking pull up Sherpa right here and I'll put the thing on the mic and let him tell the whole thing right here in front of it. That could be some pretty cool shit right there. But to get him on this podcast would be a different thing.
Be sick, bro. Either we do either one.
Hey, we live?
Yeah, holla at him, man.
Let's give him a little buzz. I think
Never been done before.
This is homage right here. This is real shit. This is how
making a real phone call, folks.
Making a real phone call here. I'm calling my boy Sherpa here. Is it a better FaceTime or regular call?
Whatever's gonna give him more volume.
He don't want to be on the face.
Do a speaker.
Yeah, we'll speakerphone this guy right now.
I'm calling Sherpa.
We're smoking the Triangle too. Yeah. Hey Sherpa, how are you, brother?
Good. What's up?
Hey, I want to introduce you to my friend JB here. And
what's up, bro?
Yeah, buddy. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good, man. Likewise.
We're on the podcast, and we're just kind of talking about Triangle, and I'm paying homage to like, you know, the OGs in the game. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna call one really quick and just call in a lifeline here really quick, and you know, say hi to everybody on the podcast, Sherpa.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's good to still be here.
Hell yeah.
What's up, dog? Hey, this is a never been done before on the podcast, making a live phone call to one of the OGs, man. I was like, you know what, give this guy a call, man. Let's see what's up, bro.
And I'm smoking on the Triangle right now too. So I was just talking about the origination of it being back in the 90s, and you know, kind of funny how you might have popped that first seed on your couch or something and smoked that shit, huh?
Well, yeah, I had a friend over, and you know, back then you didn't come and go from people's houses, especially in Florida. You know, you're coming over for some work, you're staying for a Star Wars movie or something, you know.
Yeah.
So we're busting up. We, you know, took a butt out of the head stash, because also back then, never really get weed or crip that was smokable right out of the sack. It was like you'd smoke it out of a rig, you know, of a bong, but really you have to leave it out for an hour or two for it to be joint. So it always would come out of the head stash. So we gave him away a little chunk, and you know, 2 seeds fell out of it. And he's like, "Oh, can I keep these seeds?" And we had millions of them. You know, we had this bat. We had so many seeds. Like, yeah, bro, you know, do your thing. And those 2 seeds ended up being, you know, we smoked the joint, obviously, and they went about their way. But those 2 seeds became, you know, the TK and the OG.
Yep.
Damn, bro.
I told him that we're gonna put together a Godfather dinner and get all the players that have gotten those cuts down the line and put everybody's timelines together and stories together. I think would be a pretty cool thing.
Oh, I'd love it. I love seeing, you know, because I've kind of underground even still, you know. So like, I love seeing people like Josh and all the boys that, you know, did big things, that had the ability to do big things with it. It always makes me proud seeing people be successful and, you know, do big things. Yeah,
that's the one thing I love about you, Sherpa. You want to see everybody win, and that's what's important. That's why we got to protect OGs like you know?
For sure, there's enough for everybody if you do it right.
Hell yeah. But yeah, Sherpa and I got some projects going on in Puerto Rico too. That's something to maybe talk about. He's got cool stuff. We're doing La Mina down there. We're mining, and we brought all the hash rosin. And what do you? How much do you want to talk about your genetics play that you got coming up too with those seeds?
Well, you know, we've been making seeds for a long time, but they really never leave us. You know what I mean? Like, they never get out in the public. They're just killer underground things. But we're kind of having the opportunity to start more seeds and hunt a little harder lately. And, you know, a few of the gnarly people that I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but like, Bloom's, and with us down in Puerto Rico, part of our project. So we're, breeding for hash and OG. So hopefully we can find some combo of that triangle flavor that we can, get enough hash to make it viable for the normal people that aren't in the circle to be smoking the triangle hash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but that's about it. We're just, one step at a time, just trying to do the right thing every day,
Hell yeah.
Fire, bro. I look forward to meeting you in my travels, bro.
Yeah, you know the deal. You guys want to come to Florida, you always got a spot here. And, Puerto Rico is going to be probably a destination for hash and fun in the relatively near future if everything goes the way we want it to. And, with the government and everything like that, there's a lot of opportunities down there to, for like restaurants and foods and gatherings and stuff. It's a cool place to go, and it's still in America. A lot of people are trying to jump to like weird places far away when really we kind of have an East Coast Hawaii right here that's kind of getting ready to pop off. A lot of people say bad things. People want to say bad things about Puerto Rico, but it's because they're coming and they're trying to colonize Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? Like they're coming to try to take from the people, and that's never going to happen. So it's like, especially on a little island, they know what's up. So soon, I think Puerto Rico is going to get a lot better name in the weed game, and hopefully have you guys down and get into some fishing and some smoking and some good times.
Say less, bro.
Let Shea put us on some tuna.
Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier, the tuna bite. Well,
solid.
Sherpa, we love you, brother. Blessings. I appreciate you.
Peace, bro.
You're one of like 7 people that got my phone number, Shea.
I know, brother. I know.
All right. Well, hey, I love you guys. I appreciate the call, and keep eating great.
Take care,
Peace,
brother.
bro.
See ya.
All right, lates, guys.
Late. So yeah, that was an OG. That was like, calling the guy that started Haze, or calling the guy that started the Piff, or calling the guy that started the fucking, like.
That's cool.
I don't know.
Cool. Does he do podcasts? Does he show his face or no?
He doesn't.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, that's like kind of like he said. That's the first time he's really done anything like that, and like a lot of the players know him though. Like Josh D knows exactly who he is.
Right.
Kenji knows exactly who he is. All these guys
Ones
know.
who matter.
They know who he is. They know they've kind of heard this, and like, I mean, it's just really just to pay homage. That's all.
Yeah, it's
there's
all good,
people
bro.
in the game that have. I love OG, bro. I love smoking it.
We all play our part in the chain of destiny, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this journey with the plant, Yeah, this is.
There you go. That's the triangle.
This
right
is
there.
fucking gasoline, bro. This is what we've been missing.
Funk.
I'm about to roll one of these up. Too,
Yeah, man.
Road.
Go, baby, go.
Yes, sir. So, all right, cool. So, Puerto Rico, Sherpa, that's dope.
Yeah, they're doing some stuff with Bloom. They got some really cool stuff, some genetic stuff, plays that they're doing. The Triangle is going to be a huge backer on that. They got La Mina going on down there. They're doing all the hash strains, so they're washing tons of hash down there. My partner Costa and Costa Concentrates, that's who all this hash is right here.
Yep.
He's been a genetic hunter forever, bro. I'm telling you, like he's the man when it comes to just taking stuff from genetics straight to hash. Does it wash? How does it wash? Is it greasy? What's the stability of it? Like he's just pioneered that shit, man. And that's what they got down there in Puerto Rico called La Mina, and they're going to be pumping that stuff out down there pretty heavy. So,
well, I love Puerto Rico, bro, so I'll definitely take you up on a trip there, man. I'm an honorary Puerto Rican just by association for where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with Puerto Ricans, and like my best friend was Puerto Rican, I call his parents mommy and poppy, you know what I'm saying? Like they raised me and shit. And
respect.
Shout out to the Rodriguez family. Not too many of them left, but But yeah, man, my bro Lex, he's down right now. He'll be home in like 2028.
Cool.
Yeah,
Give him
man.
a good party.
Yeah, for real.
Bring him out.
For real, yeah. I don't know if you want to bring him, but he's wild, boy. I don't know. I'm going to have to check his temperature when he come home. Lex, I love you, but you crazy, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope as fuck. I hope that comes out good on the sound, man, because that was cool. That's never been done before.
Yeah, right? That's some cool shit. Yeah.
So yeah, let's dive into the network show, bro, because we were about to go there, but I want to do some OG talk real quick.
Yeah,
so tell me how that tell me where the idea came from. How you and Nam met each other, how long y'all been rocking, and what parts you guys play in that whole equation. You know what I'm saying? Bust it down.
So let me bust it down for you. So yeah, we've been in the game for a while, and Nam hits me up, and Nam's an amazing dude, bro. Between me and you, I got to pay homage to him. He's my boy. one of the most selfless persons. Like, you don't find them like this no more in the game. You know what I mean? You protect those ones, just like Sherpa. You know, you heard that. You protect those soul. You know.
Yeah.
Nom's just like that, man. And he came to me one day and he's like, "Yo, we need to switch it up." And I'm like, "What do you mean we need to switch it up?" He's like, "Yo, we need to switch the game up a little." And I'm like, "How so?" And he's like, "We need to do a trade show." And I'm like, "A trade show? No way, bro. Why do we need to do a trade show?" And he's just like, "Bro, our industry is like in not a good spot. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of receivership going on. There's a lot of shit going on in our industry, guys. We know this, right? We're at a vulnerable space, right? And if anybody that needed to step up, it's some people from the culture, somebody from the game." And the first time Nom asked me, I said no.
No shit.
I did. I'll be honest. I'm on tape now.
No doubt.
I said
no doubt.
Because I couldn't see the vision right out the gate. I was too focused on day-to-day hustle. I was too focused on meat and potatoes on the table, not harvesting the fruits and veggies 6 months later, you know?
Yeah.
Long story short, you know, Nom, bless his soul, knew that I probably wasn't focused at the time and said, "Hey, you want to do this with me one more time?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "This network show, we need to put a show together that has no bullshit in between." I go, "What do you mean no bullshit in between?" He's like, "No ancillary companies, no cartridge companies, no random packaging companies." Not to be mean to those companies, but we need a show that's hyper focused on connecting the brand and the retail and have them make a deal right there on the spot where there's a purchase order, there's an ROI for that brand.
Yeah.
I mean, the first show, I had brands come up to me at the end of the show and be like, "Dude, I closed 20, 30 deals, da-da-da-da-da-da-da." I'm like, fuck yeah. That's fucking value.
Yeah.
That's the
It's a lot of
juice, right? Like, you want to talk about being a plug? Be a plug to all the brands and be open about it.
Yeah.
And not take from anything. Just be like, "I'm going to connect this retail that's got 6 shops and you're a new brand." Or let's say, hey, you're Lumpy's, right? Lumpy's comes up from NorCal and says, "Hey, I'm coming down to your SoCal show. I want to have more presence in San Diego." No problem, Lumpy's. I'm going to put you in touch with Kevin Hanna, who owns Buzz Cannabis chain. I'm going to get you in touch with March and Ash. I'm going to get you in touch with Cake House. I'm going to get you in touch with the buyers from each one of these shops. So now just coming to my show, the value of you connecting the dots between those 3 chains is probably 30 shops, just those 3 chains. Yeah. And that's not all the other people that are going to be at the show. So what's so different about our show is, like, both me and Nom come from the action sports industry. Like I told you earlier, like Meta Militia and Affliction, I was doing shows like ASR and Agenda, and they had a process where everything's like pre-registration. So our event is private. It's not open to the public.
Invite only?
Invite only. Gotcha. We don't sell no tickets.
Oh, no shit.
So like, you know, like if you want to come to the event, you hit me up, I'll put you on a list and we're good. Gotcha. But we do it this way, not to like pass judgment or do anything, but I need to know that I'm providing value for each one of my brands that are exhibiting there. Because I've got some guys that are coming in heavy. Like, I'll shout out a couple names. You know, Luigi's going really big with us this year. They've got a really big activation. And I don't want to allude to what everybody's doing.
No doubt.
Dime's going big. Dime supported me from the very beginning. These are brands that understand that there's value there at these shows.
Hell yeah.
And I guess like we could kind of go back to last year's show. We had Steezy, we had Jeter, we had Big Chief, we had Ghost. We had like some pretty big brands there, right? And I'm sitting here thinking like, how do I add value to a Jeter?
Right.
Like they're in every shop, right? Pretty much.
Right.
I mean, maybe they're not in one, but what are the chances that one's here and I get them that? Like, so I had some anxiety, right? Like, how do I add value to them? How do I add value to Steezy, who is everywhere too, the biggest retailer around and one of the biggest brands in California?
Yeah.
And so I went up to my boys at Big Chief and I asked them, I go, "Boys, you're my brothers. Like, tell me the truth. Like, did we win this show? Like, what was your take from it? Like, what was your experience?" He's like, "You know what, brother? It was awesome." I go, "Well, why? Why was it awesome?" Yeah. He's like, "Let me put it this way." He's like, "I saw some accounts today at your show that I haven't seen for probably like 5 or 6 years. And all the bosses pulled up and I was able to sit there, smoke a blunt with them, hang out with them, chill. So I know that you got to the right motherfuckers and you had the right motherfuckers here. So that's how I know it was successful." And I'm like, damn, that's some shit right there. Yeah. Like that made me feel like, fuck yeah, I'm doing the right thing, you know, because Dude, doing events, there's anxiety there. Like you got to
Yes.
realize, like month or 2 months before I'm out there shaking hands, going down to San Diego, checking in with my retailers, making sure that they're coming to the show. Like I'm coming up here to Sacramento. Another topic, like I got love for NorCal, man. NorCal is a big part of our show. And I don't want people to have the misconception that just because we are in SoCal, that we're a SoCal show. No, man. We got a lot of love for NorCal brands.
Yeah, dude.
Lumpy's pulled up on me today, gave me a bunch of bags. They've been supporting us from the very beginning.
Yeah.
They're right out of SoCal
Shout out to
here.
Lumpy's.
Shout out to Lumpy's. We got Shasta Hash Company. We got Telos
Fire.
Hash, Lucky Dutch, Naughty Squirrel. A lot of these are
Preferred
farms.
Gardens,
CGO. CGOs in your, up here. We got a lot of guys from NorCal. And I want people to know that, like, this show's for you. This show's for all you guys, And we do this for the culture because we're from the culture. We run a distro. We have our pulse on brands. We're in with the top big brands in Cali. We do their co-packing. So, like, we know the pulse of the industry. Like, it's not like we're sitting behind spreadsheets and fucking, in the office just doing corporate shit.
Yeah.
Like, we're on the streets
It's
too.
you're not like, who can we get? Who can we help? And I was telling you in the car ride over here, like my initial intro to you guys was my people out here. Like, yo, bro, you got to go to the network show, dog. It's like the other events, but it's just the culture. I'm like, what you mean? It's like, nah, bro. It's only the people that matter. Like people that we fuck with. It's just us, bro. And I was like, really? And then like after the event, I would hear things like you just said, bro, I just closed all these deals. I got in all these shops. It was dope. It wasn't like there was no Chads there. Like they were fucking with it, bro.
Yeah, it's that's what makes me feel the best is that I could go home, lay my head down on a pillow and know at the end of the day that I added value to these people and their brand.
Definitely.
And bro, it feels good, bro. I put on. That's like me putting on for LA and my city. And like,
for sure.
I don't know. I guess, let's talk about that. Like my career, man, I've been banging down the doors my whole career in LA. And I'll be real with you. I've had to be a chameleon in so many aspects because if there's a lot of cliques in LA that run a lot of shit. Yeah. And I don't need to name them all. If you guys can just look at different demographics of people, you'll understand those are the cliques.
LA politics.
LA politics, and
real thing. That's a real thing. Always has been.
I guess where I'm getting at is I've spent so many of those years knocking down doors and trying to get that buyer's info that just switched and went to the other shop and now he's over here. Mm-hmm. And I've done that diligence that I bring that to the network show for you to just pick and choose from.
Yeah.
Like I've already done the years of banging down those doors to get that boss that owns Grateful Meds, that owns Buds and Roses, that so-and-so from here, so-and-so from here. Yep. Like I've done that. I've shaked those hands. I've kissed those babies. Mm-hmm. That's what's so beautiful about network is I could speed you up like that.
It's like speed dating.
Literally, for dude, hitch,
for
huh?
buyers. Speed dating for buyers. That's
it
fire.
It kind of is. That's a funny way to put it. It is a little bit of a speed dating for buyers. But like what I tell my brands, this is what I tell my brands. I go, yo, have a deal. Have something where Cake House walks by and she's got X amount of stores. She's going to want a little bit of a special deal if she's buying 50,000 vape pens from you.
Sure.
20,000, whatever the number is, right? I don't want to quote me on it, but say it's something of those strategies, right? I tell these brands, yo, come up with a really crazy deal to entice, to get that person to commit on the spot.
Yeah.
That purchase order is powerful for a sales guy to go to the boss and be like, yo, dude, I just closed so-and-so and got X amount of deal. Mm-hmm. Like that boss is proud and happy. And he's like, fuck, the money's worth it here at Network.
Exactly.
Then that's not me faking the funk. I can't manufacture that, but I could fabricate those relationships and curate the environment for everybody's guard to be down, to be hanging out on the water this year. Let me tell you.
I was about to say, let's talk about the environment. I was about to say
that. The vibe.
Yeah.
It's curating a vibe.
Yeah.
We create a vibe. So we're creating a vibe and an environment where bosses from all walks are pulling up in their sports cars. I mean, like, it's a business. This is a business thing. This ain't a sesh. Don't think sesh. Think like you're pulling up to the Cosmopolitan in Vegas and you want to look good and you want to go to the Circle Bar. You're not going to be pulling up with bong rigs and your like flip-flops.
Yeah.
You're going to be in your Louis and your clean ass shit, people are pulling up like styling. Like this is a business trade show. So like that's the other side of this whole business thing where people are like, hey, can I go do a dab bar and shit with you? I'm like, This ain't a sesh, dog.
Yeah.
This is like, this
is real
brand's
business.
dropping some coin to represent their brand here. So
doubt.
like, that's why we curate who comes in and who goes out as well, because I need to add value to these brands. These brands are trusting that I'm putting on for them.
Sure.
And that's where the real value plays, where months before the show, I'm out there handshaking and politicking, you know, and luckily, you know, another Italiano, we're only as good as our word, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I pride myself on, that I've kept really solid in the whole game. 20 plus years, I've kept my name just A1. And I think that's a testament to, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
And I think when I ask people, like these powerful people that own these shops that don't ever get out and do anything, they sit behind the screen at their office and they watch their money-making machine print money, I'm like, yo, I need you to come support and pull up. Like, I've done business with you for 15, 20 plus years. Like, I guess this is me as a friend saying, like, you should pull up. And the anxiety of knowing that that guy could do anything he wants at any time of his life. He could probably just hop on a private plane and just fly to Canes if he wants to.
Right.
But he's coming to my show. And that's the specialness of like the network. And that's what these other shows say they're curating or doing, but they're letting the other, call it a circus or mumbo jumbo, get in the mix, because it's just like, oh, hey, that's why we don't have ancillary packaging companies there, because you already have your brand. You just want to sell it. You don't need to be come up and talk to hey, can I get you cheaper Mylar bags? No, bro, I got a million of them in my fucking warehouse.
Right.
You want to buy these? No, I don't need to talk to you. And then also, like, you know,
cut the fluff out.
We also add a lot of love to the bud tenders. I open it up to bud tenders too, because I realize that they are an integral part of our ecosystem.
Facts.
The bud tenders are the frontline workers. They're out there. They sell the product. I use this example. A brand was like, why are bud tenders here? They don't have no value to me. I'm like, well, because they're the frontline worker. They're like, what does that mean? I'm like, let's say a bud tender comes to network, gets a bunch of samples, goes home, smoking with his manager on lunch break, pulls out a pre-roll that they don't have in their shop, smokes it. Wow, that was great. What was that? That was a Luigi. Oh, who's Luigi? Oh, it's a new brand. Oh, well, why aren't they in our shop?
Good. Glad you asked.
Connect
Funny
the dots.
you asked.
Funny you asked.
Sure.
You empowered the bud tender by bringing them to the show, letting them go talk to Luigi and educating them, understanding the brand.
Yeah.
Like now they know. Like it's a platform for people to come in and learn too.
It almost takes a step out of your training process, because once you sell into a store, you got to go there, do the bud tender education, game everybody up. You already have a bud tender that's fired up about your shit, knows about the product, that's ready to sell as soon as it gets in the store, before you even got to go there and do the bud tender training.
Or let's hope that their buyer came,
sure.
right? But let's say, God forbid, they didn't.
Yeah.
Who's next in line? The bud tender is going to run it back to the buyer.
Every time.
Yeah,
Every
like,
time.
look what I got on network. Boom, 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 boom. Oh,
Yep.
wow, this is some really good stuff. Okay, cool. I'm going to call the originals. Look at these pre-rolls we got. Boom. You know, like.
Yeah.
So.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro.
They've been from the beginning. It's like familia. They got love, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't forget that. And I don't care how big this show gets. I'm never going to forget those day ones. And I feel like that's what's important, because we are from the culture. And that's that's what really needs to be stamped.
Yeah.
Like, we're from the culture.
That's how it's pitched in the street, bro. Like, people say that. Like, yo, these guys, imagine, I won't say any names, but imagine XYZ, but no Chaz, straight, they're us. It's us there. It's all like the real brands, the real culture brands, you know what I'm saying? It's way more, and it's invite only. I'm like, really interesting.
Yeah, the invite
cool.
only thing was cool because we can pre-register everything. We know who's coming.
Yep.
I know how many buyers. I mean, I'm going to have at least probably between 1,500 and 2,000 there, buyers, owners, or dispensary managers. And then these are all decision makers. These are all people that can actually say, yeah, I'll carry your good pizza in our store. Okay, that Proper Doinks hash roll was great. Are those on metric? Yeah, cool. Line it up. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the dots, and I feel like it's like, what's the saying? Like, competition at the top doesn't compete, you collaborate.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro.
And
fact.
The older I'm getting, the more I'm seeing, and I'm seeing that, and like, it's so weird because, like, I'm so used to the old school mentality of points. Oh, I got to put a point on it, or put 50 cents on it, or, the instant gratification of earning. But I'm investing in each one of these brands, and I'm watering them, and at my show, they're reaping the fruits because I've curated that, you know, like that's what I'm curating. I'm in like investing in these brands to do well, and it feels good.
Yeah,
it feels good, you know.
that's dope, bro. Good for you guys, man. That's exciting.
So yeah, Network is September 17th and 18th.
Perfect.
We've got an awesome venue. We're gonna be down in LA. We got a dope ass spot down in Pedro by the ports. We literally are
Fire.
on the water. The backdrop, there's gonna be a panel. We've got some guests. Lance is gonna speak on it. Got some beard bros. I got a handful of people from the culture that we're gonna get on these panels.
Yeah.
You know, talk about just some relative things in the industry, what's going on. That's more or less the outside where everybody's probably gonna be smoking, hanging.
Yeah, I know somebody else is gonna be on the panel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, you're with him right now.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
No
we're gonna
doubt.
have, it's
I'm
gonna
excited,
be,
man. Nam just hit me like yesterday.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
bro, you want to do a panel? I was like, yeah,
oh,
fuck yeah,
100.
let's do it.
Yeah, like,
So I'm like curating one right now. I got some cool ideas.
yeah, dude, you're gonna love the venue. It's gonna be awesome. The food's gonna be good too.
Nice.
I'm a foodie. You're a foodie. We know what's up.
Yeah, you already
So
know.
long story short, you know, we're gonna curate some good food. It's gonna be a vibe. A lot of people are always bumming on parking, right? So what's cool about this spot is we got plenty of parking.
Ooh, nice.
That's kind of, you know, you wouldn't think it's a big deal, but that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
And you know what else is cool is like this venue's never been tapped before. This is a first time for something like this.
Okay.
And I feel like
Are they chill?
yeah,
Cool.
dude. The company that owns this building is it's a great company. They have a big charity that they donate a lot of money back to like ocean research, and they like cleaning the ocean and teaching kids about like ocean like biography.
Okay.
And yeah, so like I'm on the fisherman, right? I love the ocean. Nom, surfer, loves the water.
Okay.
It just kind of fit in our ecosystem to be
Yeah.
a part of something like that, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
And like, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know, like, let's maybe say what up to Nom, you know? Nom's like an OG, like Nom holds it down. You won't see him out on a lot of like video stuff like this because he pushes me to be that guy. But,
Sure.
you know, he's a behind the scenes player in a lot of things, and he's a very good dude. And like, he takes care of a lot of farmers up north. I got to give him his kudos.
Nice.
He has developed relationships over the last several years or even longer, and has, you know, he's the type of guy that's like, look, I know other people are telling you on the low that the weed's going for this down here. So I'm going to get you a little bit more. You just got to work with me on a little bit longer and we'll get you taken care of. And he showed to me that like not every deal you have to take or every deal is good. And like, I've seen him like, honestly, like I've had deals primed up and he's like talked people out of deals. I'm like, that was a sale. What are you doing? He's like, the brand's not ready for it. And I'm like, but we are. He's like, yeah, but I don't want to take their money. It's just not right. I told them that they can come to the show, they can see what it's about, they can get ready for the next show so they can come fully prepared. And I'm like, damn, that's a fucking good motherfucker. Right there.
Yeah, dude.
That's somebody
Yeah.
that like, and my other partner is Mikey Kush.
Yeah.
He's like the loud, he's nothing but fire. He's
Yeah.
out there. So like, you got to realize our dynamics are very, there's a lot of dynamics there, you know?
Yeah, for
But we
sure.
all play our role very well. And, you know, like my whole group of guys, and then I got one more. We got Uncle Wayne Tay. He
Oh,
is
Wayne's the man,
THC
bro.
members only.
Yeah,
he
fucks with
does
Wayne.
ZA. He does, I mean, he does a handful of events.
He
you
does
know?
Liddy in the City,
Liddy in the
LA.
City,
Yeah, he
LA.
always make sure I was good every
He's
time
the
I have an
man.
event.
Wayne's a great dude as well. Nom and Wayne work really hard on the production side of things.
Okay.
I'm the guy out the front punching and jabbing and
Yeah,
dipping
yeah.
and diving, you
Yeah,
know.
for
And then
sure.
Mikey's out at like every event all the time.
Yeah, I
you know,
see Mike out there a
Mikey's-
lot. See you out there a lot.
Yeah, me and Mikey are kind of the out ones, and then Nom really hunkers down, holds it down, holds the structure, and you know does a really good job. I mean, dude, that dude wears fucking 20 hats, runs a distro. We have our hands in a lot of shit. So like,
Yeah.
you know, we're very thankful for Network, but we got other things going on too. But
Of course.
Network is a blessed thing. I think it's what our industry needed at a time that our industry needed it, and I think the reason why it works so well is it's no bullshit, straight to the point. Like you're gonna see real people there. Just be real. Just be ready to make a deal.
Yeah.
That's all I say.
Just be ready to make a deal.
Make a deal.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Hell yeah. So what's the future? What's the future hold for you guys, for the brands, for the network show? Like, where do you see this thing going, man?
Yeah, dude. The future for Network. We got this new expansion in this new building is going to be nice because it's going to allow us to get a little bit more floor plan. The last spot we had was very good and intimate, but there was lacking parking and we outgrew it. So, that's a great thing. This is our 4th year running now.
Nice.
We've sold out every year. We're very blessed. We're very humbled. Like, I don't know, I should be talking all this shit, but we're blessed. We're humbled. I think that the brands kind of do the shit talking for us. And I think that's the noise you hear from your peoples. And that's the way we like it, and, it's almost like, it's one of those things where it's like the guy that's quiet, you don't have to talk shit. You just let the other people talk shit. They know who you are. You walk into a room, your presence should be known. That's it.
Yep.
And we just stay in our own lane and we just blaze our own trail. And that's the best thing,
Oh, you guys got the best marketing down, word of mouth marketing, bro. People are talking.
Yeah.
Your reputation preceded itself with me. You know what I mean? Through my friends up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a real thing. So, yeah, you guys, I'm looking forward to this shit, bro. I've been trying to get down there anyway.
Yeah.
And the fact that I got to interview you prior to and then just do a panel there, it's really cool. And I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, of course, man. We got love. I got love for everything you do, too.
Thanks, man.
What you're doing for the industry and the people you bring on, the stories that you tell. You pay homage to the right people. And, that stuff, it's a lot of work, and
It is. And thank you for recognizing that. Some people don't know.
Hey.
And Nam, too. Shout out to Nam, bro. Like, me and Nam had some great conversations. He understands, like, what goes into this. And I appreciate that. When somebody knows what goes into a show and, like, production, like, the money, the sacrifice, the time, like, man, I really do appreciate that because I feel like a lot of people don't. And that's fine if they don't. You fucking never ran a show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know before I did this,
Him out of all people definitely know.
Yeah, dude, he's a good guy, man. I can't wait to meet him in the physical.
Yeah, Nom's a great dude. You're gonna love him. He's our shout out to our Goodfellas crew too. Goodfellas is our distro.
Yeah, tell me about Goodfellas, man.
Yeah, Goodfellas. It's so funny. That's our day to day, man. That's our bread and butter, right?
No doubt.
We co-pack for a lot of some big California package companies, Calis. We do a lot of pre-rolls. Pre-rolls is our bread and butter. Man, we got Nom's tweaked that pre-roll machine better than anybody's ever seen, like to the point where they're calling us to R&D it for future renovations.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Shout out to Nom on that side of things. Yeah, so when it comes to like little machinery and tweaking it, like especially on the pre-roll, I mean, like, I don't know if you know, but like I almost dropped some dime. Like Nom like helped build like some big paper company, and I'm not going to name him because he wouldn't want me to, but
no doubt
he was like behind the scenes on a lot of that. Like he's been behind the scenes on a lot of big shit, ex-action sports guy too as well.
Wow.
But so Goodfellas is our distro, and we move a good amount of flour to a lot of brands. We backfill a lot of bags for people, and then we also do a lot of co-packing for whatever it is, from jars to vape pens to. We do a lot of pre-rolls though. Pre-rolls, I would say, is our bread and butter. That's where the money's at for us, and like literally, like we're the best. I would say we're the best in the game. I'll put it to it right now.
Nice.
We've gone through every parameter of like every step of like on ours, on a commercial system, a lot more people are using knock boxes, right?
Yeah.
But not all knock boxes are created equal, and I can't give out our sauce, but I can tell you that there's a way that you can do it certain ways to get desired end results.
Almost like a hand roll.
Yeah, exactly. And to the point where,
which is the goal,
it should burn a certain way. And the more you tug on it, there should be different, let's say, compactions, or it should flow a certain specific way. And these are the SOPs that we've designed at Goodfellas. And these are the things that have like landed us big projects of people where they're like, damn, bro, you literally did 100,000, all the fucking same weight, same this, same that. I'm like, yeah, we've got it narrowed down, but like, there's no real machinery out there right now that can get it to where we have it. And I think like everybody's always like, you need a machine. But like what you don't realize is on the white market, it's way different than THCA or hemp or these other pre-roll industries, because there has to be a variance, a specific variance to what you weigh that pre-roll at. And it can't be over and it can't be under. And a lot of these other machines, when they fill the shit, the variance is too much. It's too big. There's too much of a variance. And so there'll be one joint that's 0.8 and there'll be one joint that's 1.2. That's a big variance of flour.
Oh, yeah.
And like that shit can't fly on the white market. That's not how that works. The white market has to be of a 0.5, I think a 0.05 of a percent.
Okay.
So Don't quote me on that. I got
variants.
I got my metric people.
Yeah.
But
Who's counting?
yeah. But long story short, what I'm getting at is the variance is very tight, so you don't have a big loss. So we're able to tighten that variance up so that we can maximize the pre-roll production. So you're getting obviously more pre-rolls because like for every 10th or 20th or 100th pre-roll, if you were a 0.03 over, that's losing at the final end. And people don't think that way. They're like, oh, I didn't look at it like that. And I'm like, yeah, dude, doing 100,000 pre-rolls. Like by the time I'm doing 100,000, my variance is off 0.3 or more.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pre-rolls that I'm under. So on the white market, it's really important for us to like, hammer that down. And that's kind of some SOPs that we do. And that's why I think, that separates us from the men from the boys, really.
Nice.
I got people all the time hitting me up like, hey, I got a knockbox and it don't come out like what you got and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, you probably are doing a few things different, and it's like, I'm not trying to give the sauce out, but I'm like, if you're hungry enough and you keep knocking on the door, I might point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
But, this is the shit that Nom's done really good at, like nailing those SOPs for our manufacturing side. And, his goal is like, look, if we can land top 5, top 10 brands and just manufacture really good products for them and have like a really good margin, but just enough to keep everybody happy. That's the name of the game. That's how you're going to win in the white market right now. Yeah. That's what keeps the ball turning. And like, as you know, there's a lot of turmoil in our industry and, distros, a lot of distros that are hurting, a lot of, fuck, how is everything in the world going up? But price of weed's still going down, huh?
It's weird. It's so crazy.
Eggs went up to crazy, but then weed's like down in the gutter.
Yeah.
Never
weed's
seen
more
weed
than
that
eggs.
cheap, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard somebody made a meme in New York. They're like, man, shit is crazy, bro. I gotta go buy weed in the store now, eggs on the fucking street. What's going on? Because there was like that little stint where they were selling eggs on the street, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What a crazy time to be alive, man.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, with cannabis, man.
Yeah. What do you know that the industry should know? What are you calling bullshit on that you see out there in the industry right now? Because I know you see a lot.
Obviously, I called bullshit on all the spray pack shit. I know it's a joke. I know everybody does memes and jokes about it, but I think that shit's kind of dying out. And like a lot of the like snowball stuff, I'm not hating on it. Yeah. Just let's be real. Like, because there's brands out there that are still
good for you, man.
But yeah, I just don't see that as a fad or a fade as much anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We had some at the distro because people asked for it, but then as soon as they stopped asking for it, it was gone, Good. Like, that stuff I kind of see phasing out. I would like to see a lot of growers focus more on like bringing back some older school genetics, maybe.
Oh man, let's go.
I mean, I could go down the whole list with you on that one, but a good, haze or even a good Blue Dream back in the day, like early 2000s, just something that, everything's just been watered down, it seems like, and it'd be nice to see that.
Yeah, I think even the Blue Dreams I've seen coming out, they're kind of like, hey, they're kind of grassy.
Yeah, grassy.
You know real light color. Yeah. Still got those crazy orange hairs. But they're like real light color and they're just a little grassy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the fucking. What do you think about the candy wave, bro? Is that dying down down in LA? Because I know you guys got a lot of action on the warehouse candies.
A lot of LA gets a lot of migratory people that come in, and that's what they're looking for. I feel like everybody in LA that's had the candies are always looking for the next move. Like, hey, what's the next move? We got to go back to OG. We got to. I mean, we talked about this earlier. If we could find a real fucking sour or a chem dog or something that like, could bring that old funk again. But that's why I was saying like, what does this industry need? I think it needs some of these guys to kind of go back to the vaults and like, I know a lot of people out there that have these genetics probably somewhere. Somebody's got something, but it'd be kind of cool to see them put some projects together in the white market that brings that to the people, or maybe not. Maybe those were meant to be in an era like fine wine, and everybody doesn't get to drink that bottle, and that's cool too, because I've had many times I've talked to my partner Costa about that. Like, how do we curate weed and like time capsule it, right? How do we is it the freeze dry method where you freeze dry it and then you bottle it, or like that is something that like would be really rad if you could go to like your vault and you're like, yo, dude, I got like pre-98 bubble, I got like Fucking, this is pre-97, like purple. This is TK from 91. This is, you know, like calling out like your wines, like your weeds, you know, and you pull it out of like a refrigerator and it's just like vacuum sealed capsule or something that you're like.
You can do that, right? But it's like when the nitro jars came out. It just degrades really quick. Like once you get it back to room temp and you start burning. Bro,
they're cryogenic millionaires and shit in Arizona. Like, you can't fucking put this weed in a jar.
No doubt. Dude. I mean, I'm sure there's Elon a fucking way that's not cost effective.
Flying to the moon and shit. Like,
right. Like, come on, bro. We are flying to the moon.
Tap in with Elon and be like, yo, who's your plug, Elon? What's the shit you're smoking on? You know?
But Joe Rogan's about to blow a couple more blunts with him before he gets on.
Right.
Yeah, bro. Fuck.
Man, good times.
Good times, man. What's your top 3 strains of all time, bro? One old school, one new school, one desert island.
Damn, man. Top strain. I'm really particular to that Triangle, baby. That Sherpa cut Triangle OG. Whenever I have it, I love it. Whenever I don't have it, I need it. Man, it's like best way that I could have ever put it, the best way that I remember ever it being put. Goes back to Sherpa again. Sherpa, we ended up getting some Triangle. We grew it out here. Shout out to Costa. He grew it all, got it to rosin. Had the rosin jar, brought it home to Pops, Sherpa's Pops. Opened the jar. We didn't get to see it. We just heard it because he had the phone recording. Put the jar up to his nose. Pops smelled it and goes, he said, you know what that is, Pops? He goes, that's home.
That's home. Oh, shit.
Like Thanksgiving dinner.
That's like, fire.
That's Triangle.
That's fire. Is that it right there?
No.
Okay.
This isn't
I want to try.
I'm sorry, Ron. I want to do it too. But
no. It's good.
You know, but like that's the shit that like, you know, that Triangle is like, that's why it's so special. Like, it's like
put a lid on that. I don't want to get all smoky.
Oh yeah.
Just respect the Triangle. You know what I mean?
That one, I really love. Like, I was a really big backer of.
Is that your old school? Is that your old school choice or your desert island choice?
I think my desert island choice.
You can bring it to the island too. Old school can come to the island.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think that's my island one. Like, because if I'm flying anywhere, I'm bringing the same shit with me anyways. And when I go to the island, that's what I bring.
And you certainly did.
So.
Bring it to Good Pizza Island.
Yeah, I had to bring it to Good Pizza, man. Hey, dude, shout out to TSA for not going hard at me. Shout out, dude.
If you haven't already, get your real ID because he almost got hemmed up. And they almost didn't.
They said, hey, that ain't your real ID. I said, what you mean? The cop says that's my real ID. She said, no, federal limits apply. You're going to secondary. I said,
that's crazy.
Oh, shit, here we go.
You know what's crazy? That's probably why Quesada couldn't come yesterday because he's like, yo, I left my fucking passport in my other book bag.
That's exactly
he probably
what they
had his
me.
ID.
Where's your passport? And I'm like,
damn,
I'm traveling in state. I'm not going out of country.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy, man. I should have fucking told you that. No, whatever.
It's all right.
Whatever.
I got here, dude.
This guy knows how
to get here, dude.
Come
on, another Italian. But
yeah,
I think the next strain, I would say, I gotta give love to the Kushco boys. They do a really good job on like my favorites, the Iceberg Slim.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Yeah, it's OG, man. It's another OG.
I haven't had that one.
Yeah,
I fuck with their sour power.
Oh, the sour power is sick.
Crazy. Good batch. That's fire.
Oh, dude, they were pumping that for a while. Did you try it on the Cold Fire one, or Cold Fire did a collab with them and made some pens? That was sick. I got one of those. Shout out to Cold Fire and them.
Yeah, shout out Cold Fire.
They're the homies.
Hell yeah.
Uncle Tony.
Yep. Shout out Tony Tone.
That's
Coach Tony.
That's our boy. But long story short, I would say, dude, that's got to be in the mix. And
something new you fucking with.
That's what I was gonna get at. I might throw. I mean, new could it be like a couple years old? New.
Yeah, whatever.
Like I'd say newer. Like I would say that
Skittles.
No, I'm not. I mean,
I don't feel like that's new at this point. That's about we're going on 10 years.
I want to say like I like some of the Zushis.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I like the Zushi. I've had some blue Zushi. I had some yellow Zushi. Shout out to Apple Monkey and them. They grew some of the Zushi and they brought me and he's like, bro, I'm gonna tell you this pack don't look good. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's gonna look like your debt, but I promise you, as soon as you smoke that fucker, it's on fire. And I looked at the pack. I'm like, I could kind of see what you're talking about. Yeah. It didn't look like pretty, bro. I'm telling you, it's a different smoke.
Yeah,
it was a joint smoke.
I almost get excited when they tell me that. I'm like, bro, it's ugly.
You know,
it's
ugly.
A
smoker.
I was like, all right, bet it's ugly. We're on the right track. We're on the right track. I don't want no pretty Z.
You know, it's a low pro smoker when it's ugly.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah,
5 in the streets, 10 in the bed, baby.
Yeah, I would.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say Z. I would say Iceberg Slim, and then
All right.
the one I couldn't do without is that Coasted Triangle Sherpa cut.
All right, fine.
I'd say I'm
Fine.
a gas guy. I'm all
man.
gas.
You're from the era, bro.
Yeah,
From the
dude.
gas era.
All I smoke is gas. Don't get me wrong. I ain't hating on any of the ZA that's been coming out. I think there's some good stuff. Wizardry's got some cool shit.
Yo, Wizard's cooking
he's
up,
got a
bro.
couple
He's got
cool
a
shit.
bunch of cool shit.
I've seen like a couple people like be putting on with some cool shit. Who was it? Sexual Chocolate. That guy's been doing a lot of shit for 710 Labs too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been like pumping genetics. I like to see like I pay love to everybody, bro.
Of course, man.
I think it's
everybody plays their role, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If there's a strain you could bring back, what would it be?
Sour.
My man.
Guaranteed.
My man.
Yeah, it's been so long.
Let's talk weed etiquette. What's your smoking weed, growing weed, selling weed, whatever that means to you, pet peeve? What grinds your gears?
Oh man. We didn't really ever let people in the room or anything, but like, what grinds my gears? Yeah. I hate the person that ends up taking the fucking joint, ends up talking forever, and you're like, bro, I just pearled that son of a bitch for us to smoke, and Mikey Kush, you're over here taking it out of my hand, smoking it. You know what I mean? And you're like,
we call that politicking.
bro,
Yo, son,
like,
why you politicking?
we just got that hash hole. Let's all enjoy it. Like, and the next thing you know, he's like fucking got a convo about business with some other dude and the joint's gone. And you're like, bro, that wasn't yours to leave with.
Yeah.
Is that
Come
a
on.
pet peeve?
Yeah.
Like,
It's a great one.
Yeah.
You
Like,
kidding me?
I don't
Pass the
know.
mic check.
Yeah.
Favorite place to smoke?
On the water? I'm down on the boat a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're out there on the water, you're on the boat, vibing, smoking. What's on the tunes, bro? What you listening to?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like a lot, man. I'll be real. I'll go from like old school fucking Rolling Stones to like some Jimmy to Marley.
Okay.
And then don't get me wrong, I'll go east and I'll throw on the Biggie. I'll go back west. I'll throw on the Pac. I'll throw on fucking West Coast hip hop like Dre and shit. But I like it all. I like it all. I mean, I can't
It's
say
got a good
there's-
range, folks.
Yeah, man, I love it all. I love them all.
No doubt.
But
I love that you went Jimmy,
but
too.
you know what I really
appreciate
love
that.
is I like Frank, my grandma, my
Fucking
family.
love this guy.
My family, dude. My
Yo.
family put me on Frank when I was a baby.
Of course, man. Same, bro.
When I was a kid, it was all about Frank,
I could
and
recite many songs.
I couldn't get in the car. My
Favorite
parents,
Frank Sinatra song? Hit me.
my life.
God damn, this guy.
Yeah.
You're for sure my fucking long lost cousin from California. That's
Hey,
my favorite
it's all
song, bro.
family.
It's for me and my grandfather's song.
Yeah.
And it was ill because I'm born in June, he's born in July, and it was like those words.
July.
You know what I'm talking about? How he references
Yeah.
those 2 months.
Yep.
And then like we played that at his funeral and shit. It's
Shit,
gonna be
bro.
played at my funeral.
Mine too. Yeah.
Big doinks.
Us. Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, we'd be
bro.
smoking at my funeral for sure.
Yeah,
We'd be
bro, you
smoking.
fucking better. You don't have
Yeah.
to smoke me. We don't gotta do all that. Just throw me in the ocean.
But yeah, I'm
Put me in the garden.
a big fan of just getting home to the house,
Yeah.
throwing the music on, throwing Frank and letting it go.
Tight, bro.
I think
Tight.
like, I'm a father, so like
No doubt.
being a father has like changed my life. I love being a dad, so
Yeah, man.
I remember,
Looks good on you, kid.
Thank you. I remember like my grandparents like having that on in the house and the car and shit. So I don't know, when my kid comes in the house, he hears Frank Sinatra and he hears Dean Martin and he hears,
Good vibes. man.
yeah, that's what he hears, and I think that's,
That's beautiful.
that's love.
That's good pizza.
That's good pizza, right?
Speaking of good pizza, what is your favorite stoner food, sir?
Come on, man. Pizza's in the Rolodex for sure.
All
dude.
right, we got pizza in the Rolodex, so we're gonna take it a step further. What's your middle of the night? You're creeping through the kitchen. You're a scumbag, and you know it. You see it on the counter. It's going down. Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's on. Pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah, there's-
pizza back to
There's,
back. I love
pizza. There's pizza at the house all the time.
it. Okay, are you a 2, 3, or 4 slice guy?
I'm the kind of slice guy that I buy enough for an army, and there's only 2 of us.
Okay,
And then you got pizza tonight, you got pizza tomorrow, you
That's
got
right.
pizza if you want to put in the fridge for the next day after.
That's right.
Because I kind of let the pizza out sometimes. I just let it chill. I got an iron gut, so
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you don't put that in the fridge. I'm like, it's just one day. It's like from last night.
Oh, you're a sav. You did the
like,
overnight.
I'm not tripping.
Oh,
my
shit.
wife trips
shit.
on that all the time, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's dangerous, kid.
that's what they say, but I fucking still
Nah,
here at
hey,
40,
hey,
and that didn't take me out.
If you got an iron stomach, some people can do it. That's funny as fuck. How would you define success? And has your definition of success changed over the years?
That's a good question. I think I define success is when you can do anything you want at any time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meaning financially, spiritually, your work, anything. A lot of people become slaves to their work. That's something that I'm not trying to create. I'm trying to create exits where I can be present in my son's life. My kid's going to be 5 once.
Yeah.
My kid's going to be 6 once. I'm going to have only so many T-balls to go to. I'm going to have only so many things to attend. Yeah. The kid's only going to want to go to bed with you for a couple more years. And that shit hits me hard.
Is he the only kid? You only one kid?
Yeah.
You one and done?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad you said that. And I don't know where you caught that jewel from, but I caught that jewel a couple years ago. And it said damn near like you said it. He's like,
stone cold.
My mentor was like, listen, man, when you're kids too, just enjoy him while he's 2, because he's only going to be 2 once. And when he's 3, enjoy him while he's 3. And when he's 4, enjoy him while he's 4, and so on and so forth, right? Because they're literally a different person every year, bro. Yeah. And I'm dealing with that right now. I really am, because I didn't expect to have Gianni. Yeah. And I'm in my career.
You're working hard.
I'm working hard. My kids are grown, bro. I moved here. I was good. I had grown-ass kids. Yeah. So, like, it's a struggle. But I constantly got to bring myself back down to reality and be like, bro, it's just a couple more years, man. Yeah.
He kind of brings life back to you, too, though.
Yeah,
right?
bro. Fuck yeah.
My son's brought a lot of life back to me as well. Like,
definitely.
I got to teach him the pitfalls that I may have endured. Sure. For him to learn to not ever navigate that direction. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, definitely. And it's like, it's a lot of anxiety sometimes. I think about it, you know? I'm like, fuck, I'm a father. I got to provide. I got a wife. I got a kid. Like, that's my goal, you know? And like, dude, I'm a grinder, bro. Ain't nobody going to outwork me. I'll promise you that.
Hell yeah.
You know, but now that I got a kid, it's like, fuck, okay. Yeah. Time's ticking. I don't know from what or how long, but
I know 40, it feels like halftime, dog.
I know that every fucking day is important. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, bro.
And so that's how I know when I become successful, I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want. You're going to catch me just chilling with my kid, taking care of him, just hanging and living life, you know?
Good for you, man.
Yeah. You know, money comes and goes. It'll be good. It's going to be up. It's going to be down, but hopefully we got more ups and downs, you know?
That's it.
And that's the
Don't
goal,
get too high in the highs and too low in the lows, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is there anything you're currently working on yourself on, like physically, mentally, spiritually? Like, what are you doing to make yourself better, improve these days?
That's a good question. Just try to work on my health. Like, being a dad's tough, you know? Like, I go out all day, I grind the distro, I hustle and get knee kicked all day from buyers and shit. Then I come home from the afternoon, and it's like, sometimes it's like rush hour. So I'm like, do I go to the gym, right? It's 4 or 5 in the afternoon. It's rush hour. It's not the optimal time to go. Then I'm like, fuck, I go home. I get stuck because I want to be present. I want to take the kid. I want to not, like, the wife maybe will make dinner and I'll have the kid and we'll be out in the front riding bikes and doing shit. You know what I mean? So I want to be as present from like 5 to 8 as possible, because I put him to bed every night. So, like, that's my thing. Like, I put him to bed. Like, he knows. Like, it's tough when I'm not around and I'm on the road. But
same type of time,
I put my kid to bed. I talk to him about his day. I make sure that he knows that, like, we're here. We love him. Everything's good. And then sometimes that's where it's, like, very hard self-will to get back up out of bed at, like, 9 o'clock at night to then go to the gym, to go get a workout in, to go mentally clean my head, to get all the grunge off from all the tire kicking all day and the shit that I endured from the multiple businesses and assets that we do. Yeah. And so, like, that's where I think is important, that I need to start focusing more of my time on taking care of the home body, like taking care of the temple. Because I'll be real, dude, I eat. That's my vice. I don't do a lot of drugs. I smoke some weed, but you know, I got to take care of the temple, you know?
You do. You absolutely
And I feel like that's what I'm doing for myself, or that's what I'm trying to do for myself.
Good. Good shit, man. Maybe switch the time up. Maybe knock that out early. Just get it out the fucking way. I call it killing my demons, bro. I kill my demons in the morning.
Early? You an early guy?
I get up. I meditate. First thing, I drink a cup of hot water. I meditate for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Before I touch my phone, I don't touch my phone for the first 30 minutes, because I want my first thoughts of the day to be empowering,
like that,
to be positive, and I want to, like, do some manifestation before I start putting out fires. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because there's all of the trouble in the world is waiting for you right on this phone. It's whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do that first. That's been my system for a while. It works well.
That's why I appreciate fishing so much, is because the phone gets put down.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're at nature. You're not
Yep.
I'm not like
You get to be
hustling
present,
the
man. You get to
phone.
be where your feet are, man.
Being present, I think, is the most important
Dog,
thing.
it's a fucking skill in this world we live in.
You know how hard
With
it is
these
to
devices?
go home and not want to like, oh, I got to just call that contact back, or I
Yeah,
got to
dude.
hit that client back. That's money.
Yeah,
and my
bro.
kid's tugging on me.
I know.
Dad, play
I
with
know.
me,
And they
play
get
with
mad.
me,
They'll
play
yell
with
at you.
me.
They'll
Yeah.
literally snap you out of
And
it.
you're like, fuck, what? Okay,
Oh,
shit.
God, I'm a
I
scumbag.
gotta realize it's not his
He's gonna
fault.
remember me like that. He's gonna remember me on my phone. Like, get off your fucking phone, you
Yep.
creep. And I know, I feel you. I do media and shit. I always have to be on this fucking thing, posting shit and checking shit and reposting shit. Like, it's crazy, bro. I heard some ill. Like, if you ever have trouble with that, like, it could be something as simple as like making a bracelet. Have your kid make you a bracelet, right? As soon as you go inside the house, you put on the bracelet. Now you super dad.
Now you remember.
This fucking bracelet's on. You super dad. It's right there. Put the phone up. Put the bracelet on.
Shit.
Now you
I like
clocking
that.
in. You clocking in. Dad's home.
I like that.
You got the 5 to 8. I do the same shit with G.
I like that.
Put him in the bath. Put him in bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you gotta do, bro.
I feel like that's the best way. Like, shout out to my mom and dad. I love them to death. You know, they've put on for me. They gave me a great life.
That's
you
a
know?
blessing, bro.
And I remember the days we struggled. There was days we struggled. Trust me, dude.
Trust me, I know.
You know, and like we ain't got to go that low, but
Mm-hmm.
it's you know, I've seen the fight and the will, and I've learned that from my family, and that's why like, you know, I'm gonna instill that in my son as well.
Definitely. Good, man. Sounds like you're doing a good job, my friend.
We trying.
If you could smoke with 2 people, one dead, one that's alive, who would they be?
One alive, Joey Diaz,
Whoo, good one.
mad
I
flavor.
want to get him on the show so bad.
Joey, he'll get on here, huh? I'm a DM.
We'd have
I'm
a
DM
great
him.
fucking show.
Would you do it?
I'd do it, bro.
Okay.
I'd do it in
I'm
a
gonna
second.
make that happen.
I'd
Joey,
come,
I know
I'd come
you're
to him wherever
out
it is.
there. We're gonna make
He's
that
living in
happen,
Edison,
dog.
New Jersey now. We can do it in Jersey, Cali, wherever you want to do
Yeah.
it with Joey. I
Uncle
got you.
Joey. We get Uncle Joey. I'd say that's living, right? He's around.
Yeah.
Oh man, the traditional stoner in me wants to just go back to a concert that Jimmy played and just
Ooh,
listen to
with
Jimmy's
Jimmy?
music.
I'd eat some acid with Jimmy.
Yeah, like just
Feel me?
get in that zone. People would say Marley maybe, but I feel like I've lived more through Marley's sons and his brothers and
Yeah, you're right.
the Marleys.
You're
Like
right,
I've
yeah.
gotten enough of that where I miss Bob,
There's
but
only so much Jimmy.
there was only one Jimmy.
Yeah.
That was it. I don't know. Like I haven't encompassed it all. I don't think yet. There,
Yeah.
that would be somebody in the past. I think like, and that's just a musician.
Yo,
know,
you
but-
might be the first one to say Jimmy, bro. That was a good one. I think you should park it right there.
Yeah, Jimmy.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Big
'Cause
up.
He was in the mix in a weird
Yeah.
time too. You know.
If you could pick anybody to be your personal mentor, who would you pick?
Personal mentor. Oh, it's a good question, man. You got these bangers over there, huh?
Thanks, man.
I don't know. I feel like I got a great mentor who's my father. He's leading me in a good way, but I think somebody that would be like that I don't know. David Betts.
Who's that?
He's from, I believe, Florida. He owns a part owner, or maybe don't quote me on it, but he's an owner of the New York Yankees as well.
Oh, no shit.
David A.
Okay.
Betts.
Okay.
Look into him.
I will.
He's got a great mentality. I think he was actually an immigrant into our country, got his citizenship, and he's a billionaire. And
Nice,
he's
bro. Hell yeah.
shout out to
American Dream.
him. Yeah, no, exactly.
American Dream
you know,
shit.
you
Yeah.
could-
That's crazy.
I
don't
believe
know
in
this
that
guy. I
shit.
gotta check
and
him out.
I watch a lot of his shit, and I see his reasonings, and I see his thought patterns, and
Yeah.
social media can be good used. It could be used for good too. To see these people,
Yeah,
to see their
man.
posts and their reels.
Could be
and
used
stuff.
as a tool.
It could be used as a tool, but
Yeah.
we gotta have that.
Also a skill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No doubt. So now it's time to shout out your favorite plug from back in the day, bro. Who took care of you? Who took care of the big dog Shea back in the day?
Not to drop names, but
No, don't say his name. Street name.
Okay.
Your nickname, whatever.
street
Call him
name?
Bob.
No, I fucking even drop his real name. He still sells weed in the legal market, and he crushes.
Okay, all right, say less.
What up, Tay?
Tay, shout out to
My
Tay.
boy Tay. Shit, dude. He was the first to like give me that real front bag,
Okay,
Like,
okay.
yo, like take a
That's
couple
important.
bags and work with him.
That
And I
matters.
was like, damn, all right,
That
you believe in
matters.
me? Like, all right.
Create a monster, Tay.
I got that. Yeah. And like, no, he's a monster
that's
in his
ill.
own, dog. He's still crushing out there right now. He sells a lot of legal weed.
Nice, bro.
And yeah, his numbers have been good, and I'm proud of him. And he's a family guy, and I'm a family guy, and we we're still together. We're still homies.
shit.
Like I said, I'd give one and take one for him. So
Good shit.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Before we get up out of here, if you could go back to the young you the day before you hopped off the porch and jumped into the game, what advice would you give you?
It's a good one, man. I think about that one a lot. How would I rerun this, right? How would I rewind this? Oh, man, I've got so much knowledge now that, like, I think I've given that knowledge. There's some people out there that know who you are. I've given you that knowledge, and they've been very successful with it, done really well. And I feel like I did that because that was my way of getting my ripple back, you know? Like, let's put somebody on. I've put more millionaires on than anybody I know. Like, I've put on, and I've got nothing out of it, and I want nothing out of it.
That's dope.
So for me, I feel like that's my way of rerunning it. If I missed out on that wave, I hope along that wave I helped other people catch that wave to surf, you know?
Yeah.
And I've put people on different angles, and, you know, they know who they are out there, and I don't need to drop names, but I feel like that was my way of, like, missing my opportunities. Oh, fuck, I missed my opportunities. Okay, well, I'll make sure these motherfuckers don't fall in the holes I did. This is how I speed this motherfucker up. And now he's out there crushing. And it's like, oh, fuck, like, you believed in me. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I just took somebody to believe in you, bro.
Yep.
You didn't even know me. It was random. Some dude randomly hit me on IG. I said, yo, here's what you got to do. Every night, manifest that shit. Go to bed, think about it. Boom, boom, boom. Made him a whole list of shit, right? He put it as his phone screen. Next thing I know, he's fucking crushing, bro.
Damn.
He's like, yo, I was the lowest I was when you called me that day. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, you didn't even know me. I go, yeah, it didn't cost me nothing just to believe in you. It didn't cost
You
me
gave him
nothing.
the gift of the art of manifestation, bro. That's deep.
And that's real shit, dog. That's real.
Hell yeah.
You know, that guy will go to war with me. Like, he'll be on my
bet.
side.
He fucking better.
He'll take care of my family if I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And you guys are friends now?
all day,
that's
yeah.
crazy,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's actually a pretty cool fucking story.
And that's, you know, that's life, bro.
Yeah, that is life,
what you
man.
put in
Each one
this
teach
world,
one,
what
bro.
you get out, you know?
Yeah, man. If more people could grasp that and put that into motion,
It's tough,
be
bro.
a better place.
It's a rat race, man.
It is, man. It's hard not to just look out for yourself and your family, you know?
Yeah.
But you got to reach back when you can, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Pause.
Try
That's
to.
what's up, man. Yo, where can people find you, man? Shout them out. Let us know, man.
Shout out Shea Ryan. That's me on Instagram. Network Trade Show. That's our event coming up September 17th, 18th. Goodfellas Group. That's our IG. That's our day-to-day bread and butter. That's the brands. That's who we fuck with. And yeah, man, Costa Concentrates is my other brand. That's my genetics thing. That's kind of what keeps me passionate about the game, and that's the last of kind of the old roots, you know?
I love it, bro.
Yeah. But thank you for having me on, brother. Appreciate
absolutely,
it.
bro. Absolutely. I'm just looking up the dates right now because I'm about to shout y'all out 17th and 18th,
17th,
right?
18th,
All
yeah.
right. You already know, man. Shay, thanks for coming through.
Thank you, brother.
You already know.
Appreciate
Shout
it.
to Shay, shout to Nam, shout to Mikey, shout to the whole network show. Yo, come through September 17th and 18th is going the fuck down. Come through, pull up, network, get those orders in, network, build your net worth. You already know the vibes. It's a beautiful scenario, beautiful scenery right on the water. They're doing fucking helicopter rides and dropping shit, right?
Yeah, we got some boats out there. So your network
Boats and
is your
things.
net worth. That's our slogan.
That's it,
you
man.
know?
That's it, man.
So
So
for the culture, by the culture.
that's right.
We're here to put on.
That's right. Good Pizza Network Show. We'll see y'all soon, man. Thanks for all the support. Thank you for the Patreons. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe on the YouTube. We'll see y'all soon. Peace, love, good pizza. We up out of here.